Claire licked the juice from the orange off of her fingers before wiping them on the clothes. Already looking like an adventurer, Candace teased. Brooke giggled. If this were the world before everything went to crap, I'm sure people would be appalled by such behavior. Thinking of her school and how girls typically behaved, Claire could imagine her classmates looking at her in shock the way she acted after eating the fruit. She couldn't help but giggle along with Brooke. Though such behavior may have a place in the future, or at least environments like the guild on the other side, it felt like a silly thing to consider in a world where technology was so basic. And as Candace said, I'm an adventurer, so it's not like I need to act so proper, she thought to herself. In front of them, she saw a sign that had a G and an S below the same foreign language she couldn't read. A family stepped out of the store carrying a woven bag filled with fresh vegetables sticking out. Holding the hands of an older lady, likely the mother, a boy had some type of candy in his other hand. The happy smile of the child and the way the parents appeared cheerful was picturesque, as if they were modeling for some type of advertisement. Is that the general store? Hannah asked Tommy. Nodding as younger sister's question, Tommy said, That's right. It's a store that's not just used by adventurers, but the residents of this world in this town. Reaching the door to the store first, Abby opened the door for the group. We won't be here long, but don't worry about browsing what's inside. Most stores in these types of places appreciate the people taking their time to check out what they have available. Before Claire stepped into the store, she checked out the exterior. There were 2 large viewing windows, but the glass was small panes instead of the large modern versions on Earth. Displayed were a couple of items like dried meat, cheeses, and sausages hanging from the top. On the other side were items that were likely popular, like silverware and decorations. The store looked like something out of the history books, with some type of off-white plaster and wooden beams. It had 2 floors from the windows that could be seen above her. Some parts of it were entirely wood, like the door. Next to it were lanterns on either side for when the sun went down at night. Claire walked through the door and was stunned by how bright it was on the inside, including the sunlight coming through the large windows. There were lanterns hanging on the walls and ceiling to let people easily see inside. Looking at the light, Claire noticed that the light wasn't flickering as it would if it were flames that made it bright. Claire realized it was the same setup that the guild had, likely some type of stone like the ones found in monsters. It may not have been exactly magic, but the fantasy type feel made Claire smile in wonder. Everyone in their group split up inside the store, each person doing what they wanted, except Tommy and Abby, who seemed focused on getting the necessary supplies for their job. Hannah waved to Claire before going off and exploring the interior. Claire waved back and began checking out the items on display, either sitting on the table or on the shelves. The first place that caught Claire's eyes was a row of containers with a scoop stuck in each container. It was slightly angled to make it easier to see the contents. Curious about what it was, Claire made her way towards it. What she first noticed was a sweet smell wafting into her nose. I guess it's some type of candy? She wondered. Hanging on the wall above the containers was a sign that said, "Feel free to take a sample from each container." It was written in Common, Coredian, and some language. The third writing looked vastly different from Common and Coredian. Curious about the taste, Claire reached for one of the containers and picked up a piece. It was green and opaque, but hard to the touch. "I'm guessing it's some type of hard candy?"